Hi, I'm Chris of Wilson Wildlife Sculpture. Thank you for following my online instructional video. In this video, I'm going to show the carving stage of the Bobwhite quail, and I've got many examples to show you. You're going to take the journey into my carving dust collector in my workshop, as well as carving outside with larger tools. I'm going to show how to carve with both hand tools and state-of-the-art power tools, which have helped me carve full-time for the last approximately 30 years. So I've got a lot of tips to share with you. Hopefully it'll be fun, you'll learn some new things, and please give me your feedback as well so I can improve. This is my second video offered on my website. The first was carving a magnolia flower, and there's going to be a couple different stages to this video. Again, I'm going to concentrate on how to create patterns, how to carve the quail, how to get proportions, how to lay feathers out, and carve it again both with hand and power tools. I'll cover eye placement, bill detail, feather detail in this video. In the second video, which will also be available to purchase, I will cover how to texture the bird to create the illusion of feathers, an extremely soft wood burning combined with stoning effect. Also, I'll discuss the how to disguise joints, how to have flawless joints, how to fix mistakes, not make mistakes, but how to fix them, and how to get a smooth velvet finish that looks like feathers. And I'll cover sealing and getting ready for painting. And that will be the third video in the series of how to create the Bobwhite quail. So this is the finished quail, but I'm going to show several different quail, male and female, in different poses. And so that last video will cover the painting stage, both with acrylics and oils, to produce a super soft sheen, very effective results that I've learned over the years. Thanks for joining me. This again is going to be the carving stage, so I won't focus on this as much, but you do want to plan your composition of what you're doing. So I've got a couple examples here, and I've got more. This piece here is carved from one piece of wood, carved of basswood. In fact, not the best basswood. When you carve from basswood, try to get northern basswood. This comes from the south, this piece, and it tends to fuzz up a little bit. So I spend a lot of time sanding, which is not my favorite thing to do. But I'll show you lots of tricks on how to sand and how to get a smooth finish, which will help you texture the bird and get a flawless result. This is good northern basswood, and this is a pair of emerging quail. I did carve the heads separately. The northern basswood doesn't fuzz up as much, and it takes great detail, and I love it as a result. So this pair is going to be, I'm going to show you different stages of carving this with hand and power tools. Basswood carves especially well with hand tools, but Tupelo carves better with power tools. So on some pieces I use a bandsaw, and others I just carve the form using large power tools, which I'll demonstrate outside. But if I do start, I'll use a block of wood. This is Tupelo wood. It grows commonly here in the south where I live in Georgia, all the way from North Carolina to Louisiana. And it is a preferred wood for getting detail in carving with power tools. The wood does not crack or check like some woods do. This is kiln-dried basswood, and this is air-dried basswood. There is a difference. Try to get kiln-dried if you can. Basswood, it carves more easily, especially from the north, around Wisconsin, just North America. Southern basswood is not as good. Comes from the linden tree. The Tupelo wood comes from Tupelo gum. It grows in wetlands in the south, and So the first step I do is I draw the pattern on the wood, and I will come up with patterns. I discussed that a little bit later in a video, but I didn't show this pattern. This is a Bobwhite quail calling, and so what I do is I look at photographs and I try to come up with a good side view. You can be careful of getting a view that is like a 3/4 view. You want to get a profile, and the way I best get the measurement is through using cast bills, and I describe that a little bit later. But you can just go to a copy machine and enlarge. You can enlarge in a computer as well, but you can enlarge a photograph you find and enlarge it to scale. And using calipers, you can measure and get the exact size of the bird. So that you can buy cast bills like this, and they're very handy. You can also work with mounts, but be careful because sometimes there's shrinkage on bills and the mounts aren't very good. And this mount is from a farm-raised quail. I prefer carving wild quail because they're just very, very inspirational. And I will tell you about that in 1 second.